Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's Mill Creek Crossing Connection, brought to you by Dan Dolan and Dan Dolan Homes. In studio, we have Dwight Wheelan with us. And before we jump into all the Dan Dolan Homes stuff, we talked a little bit off air. You had mentioned your grandson, Brooks Wheelan, who's a comedian. And I think you mentioned last time had a project with Comedy Central. So he's going to be in the area for his stand-up comedy. Where can people go see him?
Well, he's got one show, I believe, in Davenport, and there's questionable when it is. I think it's tomorrow night.
Oh, okay.
Or be Friday night, wouldn't it? He has two shows in Dubuque. Okay. I believe that's Thursday and Saturday, and then two in Des Moines. One. So he's going to have 5 shows here in the Des Moines area.
Now, is he gonna stop by and visit with you then, or?
He's supposed to have lunch with us tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
And so I don't know where he's going to choose to go, but most generally when Brooks shows up somewhere, someone that recognizes him and comes over and wants to have a little conversation. He likes to fly into somewhere and not be known too much for conversation, but it's so hard to keep up with him. Last night he was in New York. I don't know whether he's going back to L.A. and then fly back. It's the best kept secret in the family. We can ask his parents what he's going to do. They don't have any idea either, so... We're going to hopefully have him for lunch tomorrow, and then he's off again. And we'll find out how the program for Netflix is coming along that they taped while he was up in Alaska. He had 10 shows in Alaska. So it's always good to see him. He blows in and blows out, and this will be his Christmas visit.
Oh, okay.
But whenever he shows up, we're glad to see him.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's kind of off and running wherever they book him, and that's what he likes. He likes to keep busy. When he's not busy running and doing the shows, he's writing for another show. I keep trying to tell him, the cable man has made a pretty good living off of making fun of his family. And he's worked some stuff in on me. I know that.
Oh, he does. Okay. I was going to ask, have you ever seen his act?
No, he does it. And but the time that we hear from him most, he loves Iowa beef and Iowa pork.
Okay.
And you can't beat the packages that Fairway puts together out in Boone, Iowa. And so we keep his deep freeze full of Iowa beef and Iowa pork. So we hear from him then because he always calls to say thank you.
That's great, that, when you grow up eating that and then you end up in other parts of the country and eat their version of beef, and you go, ooh, yeah. What's this?
Yeah, I can't imagine what he's talking about, how terrible the beef is in California.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good that he's going to be around a little bit and you get a chance to see him. So, well, we better transition into our topic, of course, is Dan Dolan Homes out at Mill Creek, and they're still working on that home that's out right behind your home, and how things coming along.
There's an awful lot of activity this week. They've been there and they've shaped the lawn. I hope they're going to do the sod, because the yard just looks so much better if it lays through the winter and gets the snow on it and stuff like that. But this morning, they're working in front of the house, putting the masonry work done on the garage and the east part of the house too, laying the stones. And in the back of the house, there's a crew working on building the deck behind the house. So there's a lot of outside activity going on right now, and what a great fall they've had to work. It's just like the farmers, they've been blessed so greatly with their crops and stuff. Well, Dolan's lucked out, I'll call it, on getting the house finished on the outside. The crew that's building the deck does some finish work for him, so I hope that they stick around and get to work on the inside.
Very good. Now, have you gotten too many calls from people wanting to take a look or see it?
No, we haven't.
Okay.
The people that want to see it, that we hear from most, are the people that live out there.
Oh, okay.
I don't know whether they're thinking about upgrading to a 3-bedroom home or whether they just want to look at it. But it is different than the houses that are out there, and the fact that it is a 3-bedroom on the main level. And, of course, 2 bathrooms, one off of the smaller bedroom in front, and then the large master bathroom where it has the roll-in shower, and people are amazed to see that. They think that when you talk about a roll-in shower, most of them have in mind that little lip of 1.5 or 2 inches that they have to step over. No, this is a roll-in shower. There is no lip to step over or to have to worry about how you get the wheelchair in the shower. And the doors, 36-inch doors, are ideal for rolling around in the house in a wheelchair or a walker without tearing up all of the trim on the door. So it is truly made for someone that's handicapped or somebody that's just going to grow old and live in it, like we've done. We were both in pretty good health when we moved in, and that's gone somewhere, so we appreciate what we have and the wide doors, and of course we aren't to the point where we use a roll-in shower, but I've told the story many times because we lived in the house that we're in. When Shirley was in Iowa City in the hospital, they were going to send her to skilled care, and I argued with them and told them we had everything at home that they had in skilled care. So they send therapy people to the house and help with the physical therapy, and we just went on living like we had been.
And I have to think that that's a huge part of a person's recovery, is to be able to stay in their own home.
Absolutely. They don't want to go where the people are always bothering them, or it's just too much like a hospital.
Right.
And you're right. Go home. You're in your own surroundings, and absolutely, it's the place to recover.
And I love the line you said in the past about the people that come in and they look at the home and they go, they build homes like this?
Yeah, especially the caregivers.
Mm-hmm.
The last time we had caregivers come into our house and help Shirley with therapy was they want to know if I designed the house. And I said, no, there's a whole neighborhood here just like this one. And it is a well-kept secret in Clinton that it's well built. I understand there's some new homes in Clinton that people won't move into. It's not what they expected, but Dolan can show you a home, and that's what he'll build for you. And the price he quotes is the price it'll be on the closing date. So people need to, if they have a serious thought, we've already passed the idea of Christmas in the home. It just isn't possible. But Easter.
There's always Easter.
Yeah. I think that's the first holiday after the year end. But anyway, we'd be happy to show people. We can now get in, stumble around over some lumber and stuff like that, but we can now get in and show people. If they want to see it, I live right behind the house. They can ask me to open it for them, and I'll be happy to. It won't be long till Mary will be there with open house. I say I forget her schedule, but I believe it was 5 days a week.
Okay.
And she'll be happy to show you around. So we can get you in now until it's done. And if you want to see how the finished work all comes together and the kitchen, you know, that's the room the women look for.
Oh, yeah. That's for sure. That kitchen. It's the central part, the most important part of the home.
That's right. That's where most of the work goes. Yeah. But anyway, we'd be happy to show them.
Well, I know you mentioned Mary, and the hope was a while ago of maybe being able to do an open house meet and greet for November, but probably not going to happen. So you figure maybe December.
I hope. Yeah. No, it won't happen in November, but I hope we can by December.
All right. Sounds good. Well, Dwight, thanks for stopping in again and being on today's Mill Creek Crossing.
Okay. Next week.
Yep. That is today's Mill Creek Crossing Connection, heard every Wednesday morning at this time here on KROS, and brought to you by Dan Dolan and Dan Dolan Homes.